Hey guys. Okay, day three. Um, Before I can get into the story of how I um how I asked Chrissy out, which will be tomorrow, I have to do today. I have to do a little backstory to help you understand why this was pretty important to me. Why even just having a girl to talk to, or not even that, even to have someone to talk to in general, either gender, was a big deal to me. Um, I have to start off with just a little bit about myself if you don't really know me that well. I've already said that I'm a pretty introverted person, that, I'm pretty quiet. I don't make friends very easily. But, when I do, I be, most of my friends I have are pretty close, I like to say. I don't tend to just have like acquaintances as friends. If you're my friend, we're pretty we're pretty cool with each other, I'd say. But yeah, when I was in high school, I was never like the guy that had like a million friends. I had like a few close friends, and then I had people that I would just call acquaintances, which like I might see them every day just because we're in high school, but beyond that, and beyond the fact that we talk a little bit, and beyond that, we're not really friends. I don't know anything about them. But yeah, it's like I think that the fact that it's hard for me to open up to people usually does hurt me in the sense that it's kind of the reason why I don't have a lot of friends. Why I am a pretty quiet person, and so the day that I met Chrissy was pretty crazy. In the sense that here comes a girl into my life that not only started talking to me first, but seemed pretty laid back, pretty um what's the word? Pretty easy in the sense that she seemed like the type that she had like a million friends and she actually knew a lot about them. I think with me, the reason I only have like a certain amount of friends is because I don't know, like anyway, like so aside from that, what you have to realize is that me being what I just said I was, especially um, being the really nice guy that I usually am, it's pretty hard for me to make even to. I mean, it was already hard for me to make friends in general, but to make a female friend was really hard in the sense that I was always afraid that to talk to girls because I was afraid I was going to come on too strong, that it would seem that I was um it would seem that I was trying too hard, like, and that I was trying to be more than friends, and that's what I was afraid of. I was like, I don't want to sound too chummy. I don't want to sound. That's just how I was. I was really afraid to talk, and all those factors made it very hard for me to meet girls, which is the reason I never had a girlfriend up to past high school. The one time I tried, the one time I almost tried to assert myself. Obviously, I talked about it yesterday and the first day, and that didn't end well. So that really had a that really had an impact on me. I think that if what happened in high school between me and a girl I'd rather not talk about, if that never happened, then I like to think that it wouldn't be as bad. But since it did happen, since, you know, after that happened, I just felt like really down, that I just couldn't talk at all, really. And so, moving on, so now that you know about a little bit about why this was so crazy for me to meet Chrissy, I have to talk about the fact, or I have to talk about why she did seem like more than just another girl that I'd meet, more than just, say, like a classmate from a college class, or someone like a coworker or something. The first thing I guess I should talk about, which I'll dwell more into on Sunday especially, is the fact that she was a pretty, I don't know, I guess you could say she was a pretty religious person. I guess I mean, looking back on it, in 2009, I was still kind of pretty close with my faith. You know, me being Catholic, obviously, doing this for Lent. But I don't think I was ever as close as she was. When she was, throughout the first couple times we hung out, she went into stories about, you know, how she was back in high school, back in Georgia, and how, you know, like, how her faith basically kept her in check, kept her sane, kept her from going out the deep end, and I guess I could understand that, you know. But sorry, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to not lose my train of thought. So, you know, like, I thought that was pretty cool. Someone that, especially like back in '09 and even up to now, I was always under the impression that, you know, what someone believed in was their choice. You know, I wasn't gonna be like, you're wrong for believing this, for not believing in this, and all that jazz. But you know, if you held on to your beliefs like she did, then I could respect that. I can be like, that's cool. Like, it's very admirable for someone to be very strong in what they believe in, no matter it be religion or anything, really. I think the real thing that made me think that she was something special was the fact that she was pretty down to earth. I'm pretty sure it had to do a little bit with her upbringing, being from suburban, you know, it's like the suburbs of Georgia. In the sense that, you know, we were both pretty, neither of us were really really superficial, in the sense that what I saw in the first few times that I hung out with Chrissy was how she was. She wasn't putting up a front. She wasn't, she wasn't being fake. And I think that's what really made her cool in my eyes. Another thing was that she used to be really tight-knit with her family, which, coming from me, who has like almost 30 cousins on my mom's side of the family, you know, that's really cool to me, to have your family that close to you, because I do that too. I have, most of my family are my closest, most of my cousins are my closest friends, pretty much. And probably, like, I guess, like, if you want to count it as the most cynical, the two things that I really liked about her that really made me fall for her was the fact that, aside from the fact that she was in band and that we could talk about a lot of stuff about that, like, you know, how both of us were, both of our stories that we had, me having like the same 5 stories that I still tell to this day about stuff that happened to me and to other people I knew. But probably the coolest thing I think that I found out about her was the fact that she really loved to read. That she when she started reading a book, she almost couldn't put it down unless like she was reading something really long. And I thought that was pretty cool, just because of the fact that if you know me, that I love writing and I love reading too, but like I'd say that around 2009, my reading had taken a backseat to everything else. I wasn't really reading a lot. I was writing, definitely. I was still writing my first draft of 8 minutes when it was still in novel form, and sorry. Just the fact that she read like a lot of stuff, like just like really intrigued me, and made me realize that to be a good writer, you kind of really have to read, because you can't just write. Like they kind of go hand in hand, and I think that was one of the first really big things we got into when we were talking at first. How when I told her that I love writing, but I told her that I hadn't picked up a book like in '09 in a couple of years. She was the one that taught me that it made no sense, and that's kind of why. Like that's a few of the things. That's a few of the reasons why I really liked her. Why I feel that we hit it off so quickly, because we had quite a few things in common, really. And that'll probably be it for today. Like I said, tomorrow I'll get into it'll flash forward. I know, like what yesterday I said that I was in towards the end of February. I'll probably jump to September and explain the day I asked her out. And thanks for watching again. If you like it, hit like. Subscribe if you'd like. And until tomorrow, see ya.